I got infinity money.
Yeah, technically the 2-pointer, I guess. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Beyond the Backboard Podcast. We are back from Christmas break, giving you guys a New Year's special. Honestly, this kind of fell on the day. I didn't honestly realize it until just this moment that we were kind of doing it on a New Year's Day. So I was just like, oh, this is a New Year's special, I guess. But anyway. Yeah, so we just took off for Christmas. We were trying to figure out our schedules. So from now on, guys, we're going to try to do either... Well, we'll talk about it after this podcast. I don't want to assume. But I guess we had to start off with some news about, well, last night. The Lakers lost, unfortunately, even though I felt like that was a clear win. But
it was a clear overtime.
It was a clear overtime, yeah. But it's absolutely insane that they could even call that a 2. Or, like, even if they're, like, in consideration of it being a 2 or 3, I feel like that's more of a 3 than a 2. Like, if I were to say so myself. So...
I mean, his foot was behind the line, so I'd say
I'd say so as well. Like, the refs... I don't know, man. The refs in every single game. It's not just the Lakers games. It's not just the Knicks games. It's almost every game. These Lakers are... These people are making suspicious calls left and right. It's not good for the league. I'm not going to lie. It's really not, because... I feel like players are going to start to grow resentment towards these referees because they're making calls that are not making a lot of sense. So,
Start to grow.
Start?
I think it's been like that a while.
It probably has been like that for a while, yeah. Makes sense.
Players have been complaining for years now. It's just been a thing. It's been a thing for as long as I've been watching, almost as long as I've been watching. Everyone just complains to the refs now when they miss a shot. They're like, it's got to be a foul. I'm too good to miss a shot on my own. Like, I'm Jason Tatum. I never miss. So if I miss the shot, I must have been fouled. No specific hate to Jason Tatum. It's everyone. I just think it's funny.
Julius
Randle.
Randle.
That's insane.
Yeah, Julius Randle. Well, Julius Randle, he's too good. He's never committed a turnover in his life.
Never once. Never once.
Yeah. It's tough. It's a two-way street. You know, it's tough because the players complain, so the refs hold grudges and make calls against certain players. And then the players complain even more, and then the refs make more bad calls. So it's bad. It's both sides got to just clean it up. It's like NBA, the refs got to be held more accountable and make better calls. Yeah. But the players also got to be held more accountable and stop complaining and whining. It's a bad product. It's bad for basketball. These are grown men, and they act like 5-year-olds for no reason. So it stinks, but that's kind of the league we're in, and I doubt it's going to change anytime soon. Because if Adam Silver isn't going to punish players for legitimate crimes, he's probably not going to punish them for, like, whining on the court.
Yeah.
The thing is, too, it's like the whole point of having like the review system was to review plays like this and overturn them during the game. Like them going on social media like 12 hours later and saying, "Oh yeah, you know what? LeBron's foot was behind the line. That shouldn't have been called that."
It doesn't help. It doesn't fucking help.
Game. It doesn't bring back the extra point.
It makes it worse. It actively makes it worse. That's the worst feeling. It's when you log on the next morning and you go on the NBA ref account and you're like, "Okay, so I wasn't tripping. That was a foul." And
yeah.
Like, damn. So we did lose on a bogus call. All right.
It's just bad. And then I'll just say this. Shout out to Anthony Davis. I mean, we played, the number 2 seed in the West. I don't know what they are overall, but, I mean, arguably one of the hottest teams in the NBA currently. They've been pretty much beating everybody. And we lost by, like, 3 points. Or maybe it was, like, 2 points. I forget. But, yeah, it was a great game. Anthony Davis dominated. Rudy Gobert, the defensive player of the year. Also, AD had a crazy block on Jaden McDaniels, who really tried him. Crazy. Don't try to dunk on AD. It's not going to be a good day for you. But, yeah, overall, great game by the Lakers. Just couldn't close it out. There's other reasons why we didn't win this game. Reeves didn't have the best efficient night, as he usually does. I'm not even going to say D-Lo's name. I don't really consider him part of our team right now.
He plays for the other team, whatever team that is.
Yeah, I just don't even consider D-Lo.
Is he really that bad?
Yeah, he's really that bad. He's like he's been the RJ Barrett of the Lakers for the past month and a half.
It's just he just disappeared.
Toronto should go get him. I heard Toronto needs a point guard. Oh wait, never mind. Sorry, go ahead, Earl.
You brought it up.
Y'all can have D-Lo quickly.
Nah, fuck you. You're not getting quickly. You don't deserve quickly.
Y'all don't even. Y'all threw him away like James Harden, bro.
No, don't say that.
He's gonna be a star. I can't wait.
Flashback to like a month ago, where Earl said he's gonna be great on another team. I think
we gotta find that clip and we gotta put it in the podcast right between it.
I think I said the Spurs. Yeah, I think it was the Spurs. We gotta find that clip.
You did say the Spurs. I do remember that. You did say the Spurs.
Yeah.
But hey, Toronto, same purpose.
Like fine wine, aging like fine wine, baby.
Right now it is. I mean, he still has to play well, but I think he will.
All right, I feel like I owe our fans a service of just letting them know what the trade is exactly, because there's a lot of misconceptions. I don't know why, because they feel like we gave a lot of draft asset, and that's not the case.
You got fleeced.
Yeah, we got fleeced, but that was because of Emmanuel quickly. I was happy about RJ Barrett being traded. I lived with that. I lived with that. But the full trade breakdown was we got OG Anunoby, Precious Achiuwa, and Malachi Flynn. The Raptors received RJ Barrett, Emmanuel quickly, and the second round pick that was Detroit's. That will most likely be the 31st pick in that second round. So
I got a question. What's OG's deal right now? Like, what type of deal is he on right now?
I can answer that because you best believe I checked. He's on the third of it's he's on the third year of a 3+1 with a player option. So he plays out this year, then he's got a player option for this upcoming season. He could opt in. I think it's like a 19.9 mil player option. So I think the plan right now with him will probably be what we did with Josh Hart. Get him to opt into the last year of his player option for this upcoming season, and then give him a 4-year extension worth whatever. So, because right now Josh Hart is still playing on the last year of his like normal deal, and his extension doesn't start till next year. So I would imagine we'll probably want OG to do the same, or we'll just let him walk, which I don't think we'll do. Considering we just traded
we're not gonna let him walk. And I'll tell you why. I got two words for you. Leon Rose. You want to know what's the main reason OG Anunoby is on this squad? Because guess who OG Anunoby's agent is?
It's Leon Rose's son. We know this. I mean,
there's definitely wait. No, don't get me wrong. So what I'm
sure there's other players who have an agent whose agent is Leon Rose's son who are way worse than OG Anunoby.
This is giving me vibes of I was at the party and they were at the party, so they're a Nick type of story you told.
Yeah, it's annoying. It is really annoying. He hit it spot on. Earl hit it spot on. But no, the reason why I bring this up. The reason why I bring this up is because
he went to the guy's wedding. He didn't go to the guy's wedding.
It was Joel. That was the craziest Joel to the.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But continue. Oh.
Yeah, but the main reason why is because OG Anunoby, again, Leon Rose's son's agent. There was communication. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that there was communication between OG Anunoby and the front office of the New York Knicks to say that they would potentially work on a deal where it was like a discount. He thinks he's worth $40 million as a defensive player. I don't think he's there, but I think he's somewhere. Probably 25, 30 maybe. I feel like that's a bit.
25.
I can give him 25. But he left it up to the agencies that he was working with that if he were to be traded to New York, there was a discount that he had in mind.
I'm not gonna lie. Is this the best package you guys could have got for RJ / Quickly deal? Because in my opinion, like, don't get me wrong, I think OG, he's a good.
Could have gotten Donovan Mitchell without a doubt in my mind. We could have gotten Donovan Mitchell last year. Yeah, because that was the thing. They were saying
last year when RJ's trade value was higher. Maybe last year.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we could have gotten in the beginning of the season. We could have gotten Donovan Mitchell last year if we just put RJ Barrett together with Quentin Grimes.
I would have done that,
bro.
Huh?
It would have had to been Quickly and RJ, not Grimes, bro.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that's where it is, though. That's what if we could have gotten Donovan Mitchell for just those players. Imagine what we could have gotten for RJ and.
Are you saying before he went? Are you saying before he got traded to Cleveland, like when he was still on?
Yeah,
the Jazz?
when he was on the Jazz. Yes.
Well, okay, but if we go get Donovan Mitchell, then we don't have Jalen Brunson. So I'm happy. I'm happy with my boy Jalen. I take what we get. And
I think we would still. No, we had Jalen at that point.
We signed Jalen after we wiped out on Donovan. Oh, he was our backup.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Am I bugging? I'm pretty sure.
Look at the timeline. Mitchell got traded before the offseason, and then we were just like, okay, we'll just get another short point guard then. It's all good. We'll get the better short point guard.
Knicks fan doesn't know his Mickey Mouse trade.
No, I'm just trying to remember it. That's not a Mickey Mouse trade. You're Mickey
It's like when Shams completely got wrong how the Timberwolves got rid of D'Lo.
No, that was great.
POV. Yeah, just Shams is some guy we know in our basketball league. We gotta throw contacts. We don't know this guy's name. We don't know this guy's age. We don't know nothing. We know how he sounds like, but he sounds like a squeaker. Like, I don't know.
Okay, that's kind of mean. Anyways, moving.
It's just unfortunate that the price that we had to pay, like Omar is saying, this was the best package. I don't know what other team would have accepted RJ Barrett onto your team. Like, you have to be respectfully. You're not doing your scouting if you actively want RJ Barrett. You know. This trade felt like we had to get rid of quickly just to get rid of RJ. Like, RJ's such a negative asset, you had to package him with Emmanuel quickly just to offset it so that some team would accept him. So, like, this probably was the best offer we could have got because there's probably, like, half the teams in the NBA would be like, we're not taking on RJ Barrett under any circumstances unless you're giving us, like, Brunson with him or something. So, it's unfortunate that's how bad he is, but you know what? We gave him an extension. That's our fault.
I am here to correct you, sir. Wait, I just want to make sure that was the date. July 12th, Jalen Brunson was signed to a 4-year deal, $104 million with the New York Knicks. Donovan Mitchell was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers on September 1st. So we already had Jalen Brunson. Both of y'all are wrong.
Let's still no.
Nah, both of y'all are wrong. Y'all want to say I was wrong? I don't know about my own Mickey Mouse trade? Yes, I do. You were wrong. Just got to get that out there. Just got to get that out there. Anyway.
Good job. Oh, you got one right.
I got one right. I got a lot right.
Last one on us. He put his Mickey Mouse.
I put the burners on you. That's why.
Those are the right dates. You know, probably got that from Stat Meals.
No, I didn't. I got it from Google. That's easy.
We got cooked by Brunson Muse right there.
Brunson.
Yeah, no, I'm just joking.
No, but what were you saying though? I'm sorry.
I was just saying that, like, it's unfortunate that Barrett is so bad and he's such a negative asset with his extension that we needed to package quickly to get rid of him. That's all this trade was. It was a way to get rid of RJ and you get a really good player at a positional need. So at the end of the day, we managed to turn, you know, a negative trade asset into a positive. Obviously, like, it stinks giving up quickly. I'll be the first to say it. Right now, I'd say him and OG are probably similar value, but I'd be shocked if in 3 years Quickly has not surpassed him. Mm-hmm. I think Quickly will definitely wind up being a better player than OG. Right now, they're probably pretty equal, which is why I'd probably be like, they're probably both worth around 25 mil. Quickly probably a little bit more because he has that higher ceiling. But OG fits really well with this team. Quickly was never going to reach his potential on the Knicks just simply because he's playing behind Brunson and having to, you know, Tibbs clearly showed that he was incapable of providing minutes for Quickly and Brunson. And running the small 2 backcourt, I'm not a fan of it, personally. So it's unfortunate. I hate that Quickly left. He was one of my favorite Knicks. He's going to do great on Toronto. I have no doubts. I just think it's funny, all the Knicks fans crying a river over RJ Barrett. Like, y'all know he's not him. Like, respectfully, RJ's not him. I saw some people on Twitter being like, Knicks fans, now that RJ's off your team, you can be honest. Like, he's not that good. Like, he's a highly inefficient, volatile NBA player who costs you more games than he wins you. That's kind of the RJ experience. So if you want to mauled over Quickly, I'm with you. I'm right there. I'll be crying in the corner with you. But don't act like RJ Barrett was the franchise savior. He had 5 years to become a franchise savior, and he didn't. So Toronto fans, they're hyping him up to be like the next great thing. They're like, we got Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett. Like, yo, let's go. After his 18th game shooting 2 for 10 from the field and airballing 3 threes, they'll want to ship him out. Trust me. They'll realize who they got pretty quick.
I'm telling you. Barrett is about to turn up. I get it. No, I promise you, Max, like, just the vibe of playing from where you're from, it elevates your game. Like, I know things like that probably seem like they don't matter. Statistically, you can't put a number on that, but when you're in your own environment, you're more comfortable. I think the trade was good for both sides. He went back home. He's in a better place. I think he's going to get really good minutes over there in Toronto. Not that he wasn't on the Knicks. And I think Quickly,
too many minutes over here.
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying, like, quickly, I feel like he's going to play great. He should and will be their starting point guard or two guard, whatever. All they really have over there is Dennis Schroeder. Malachi Flynn's gone, so there's no excuse why quickly shouldn't be getting those minutes. So I think quickly, my hot take is still standing. He is going to become the next James Harden. Don't know how fast it's going to happen. No, you never know with these things. Could happen this season, could happen next season. But I'm sticking to that take. I'm going to die on that hill, as Max will say. I'm going to die on that hill by myself. That quickly is literally on this. Like, if we're talking about copy and paste NBA careers, stat by stat, year by year,
history always repeats itself.
Comical, exactly why they are. Yeah. Like, I remember, like, when we talked about it on that show, looked at the numbers, they were literally exactly the same. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. So you're not, like, dying on the hill alone, per se. But
misery loves company.
But I'm just saying, like, dude, Emmanuel quickly was a bigger loss than RJ Barrett in this trade. I think OG's trade value was through the roof like a year and a half ago, and he's been proven, or he's been. I feel like he's been saying to Toronto that he doesn't want to be there, and it was kind of obvious. Like, his vibe was off when he was playing with them. He doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't fit the team anymore, but. I mean, look, this was the best possible I guess this is what it is now. It's probably the best package we could have gotten for RJ Barrett alone. We did have to give quickly up. That's gonna hurt and that's gonna sting us. But I mean, there's so many good guards around the league that are for sale. Who says we can't grab Jordan Clarkson and take him off the bench? Who says we can't go get Malcolm Brogdon? Who says we can't go get these players that are pretty freaking good in their own respects? So I have
like Brogdon would be nice.
Brogdon would be very nice. I think Brogdon's for sale too. Like, easy.
He's not Portland right now, right?
We have a good relationship with the front office. Give him 2 firsts.
Really, that doesn't matter. We're literally suing the Raptors, and we made this trade happen. So
yeah, dude. Like well, wait.
This was the hardest front office to deal with, but we made it happen.
Well, let's hit the pause button because I did read some reports. Apparently, the front office had no idea. And this coach, whoever this guy is, was acting completely on his own, and was just, I guess, lying to the Raptors front office. I don't know, but I don't know how he got away with all this. I think he ended up probably going to jail or something. I don't know if this case ever ended, but I think the suit kind of turned to the individual more than the organization. So I feel like the relationship is probably still there with the front office.
All right, that's good. Yeah, that's a W. We got OG Anunoby.
Yeah, I'm happy about it.
W.
Very
I've been
solid.
banging the OG drum for the longest time. I've said that he is like the perfect role player on a championship team, and that there is literally not a single franchise in the NBA who would not benefit from having him, or who would not want him. Like, he's like the perfect 3-and-D guy. Like, and he's great for the Knicks. He's exactly what we need. Tall, wing defender. Literally probably a top 5 perimeter defender in all of basketball right now. Mm-hmm. Made all NBA second defense last year. Can probably make it again, if not first team in the next year or so. He's good. He's an above league average 3-point shooter. He's excellent in transition, which is nice when you have Isaiah Hartenstein and Josh Hart, who love running transition. Now they've got another running mate to throw the ball to instead of just throwing it to RJ Barrett and watching him get blocked or commit a charge. So that's like an instant tremendous upgrade. He's our best perimeter defender. Running a lineup of him, Grimes, and Mitchell Robinson is going to be so much fun next year. Like, I cannot wait to see those 3 on the court at the same time. Like, that is like number 1 in the NBA type defense right there. Mm-hmm. And then you've just got Brunson to run the show, and then Randall to hopefully not screw things up more than he already does. I think that to me is a fun lineup, and I'm a bigger believer in defense than most people, so I really like OG's game. I think he's going to be a great Knick. I don't, do I think he's going to turn the franchise around, and do I think he's part of the big 3? No. But I think he's, a solid starting lineup piece that you need if you want to contend for a championship. And I doubt this is the final move. This is not the end game move the Knicks front office has in mind. But this certainly is a step in the right direction, Again, I hate giving up quickly, but at the very least, we got a player who I think is going to be very good as well.
Yeah. And just to say a few names that we could possibly bring this team together. Mikal Bridges, Donovan Mitchell. These players, you like to say this, but these players are available. And Earl wants to hate all he wants all over there in La La Land.
Just watching. I didn't say a word.
I hear you laughing, bro.
Laughing? How do you hear me laughing?
I hear the doubt in the laugh. You think it's not gonna happen? Got you. Go. Sorry, go.
No, I'm saying, how do you hear a laugh in the doubt that I never made a sound about? It's crazy.
I heard it.
Silence speaks louder than words.
Precisely. But no,
I do agree that those two are available. I just don't think we're winning a championship with either of those two. If you're going to win a championship with the league, the way the league is right now, you basically need like a top 10 to top 5 player in the whole of NBA on your team. That, or you basically have a borderline top 10 player and an extremely well-constructed team around him, like the Jimmy Butler. Because Jimmy Butler had Bam. Like in 2020, when Butler had Bam, Tyler Hero, Goran Dragic, Jay Crowder was going crazy. Like, only in that scenario are you going to possibly win a championship without a top 10 player. And even then, you could have argued that Butler could have been in the top 10 that season. So I don't think Brunson is top 10 right now. I think he's borderline. So if Brunson's going to be the best player on a championship team, you need to have an elite squad around him. When in reality, I think it would probably just be easier to just go get one of those top 10 players. I know it's not as easy as it sounds, but Donovan Mitchell isn't top 10. Mikal Bridges certainly isn't top 10. Those aren't putting us over the hump. We're not competing with Boston or Milwaukee or Denver.
Maybe Mikal Bridges is not top 10, but if you don't think Donovan Mitchell is top 10, then who is top 10?
Embiid, Giannis, Jokic, Curry, Braun, Kevin Durant, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka, probably Anthony Davis, and then you can throw in, I'm sure there's someone else I'm forgetting. You could throw Dame Lillard in there.
Dame Lillard over...
I just rattled.
Not right now. I wouldn't say that. And I still think you're sleeping a little bit on Donovan Mitchell.
Wait, who? Donovan Mitchell? You say he's top? He's not even that. He missed too many games right now to be top 10.
All right. All right. Yeah, we could say that. He missed too many games to be top 10. I can understand that.
We're getting somebody else.
But imagine, like, bro, well, think about it like this. We already solved our defensive problem. Because our biggest concern about bringing on another offensive guard like Donovan Mitchell, because we had this conversation before, was our defense, and we were concerned with RJ Barrett's fit and all this fit because we thought it was the current roster. Now that RJ Barrett's traded and then we have OG Anunoby, next year we'll have Mitchell Robinson fully healthy. Next year we'll have OG Anunoby fully motivated. If we can go get Donovan Mitchell, that would be an amazing part to the process. We solve our defensive problems and we solve our offensive problems. Then we have Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle per normal.
I just don't see Donovan Mitchell as the best player on a championship team. Not even more so than I see Brunson. I think Brunson would be a better top player on a championship team.
I don't know if Jalen Brunson and Mitchell will 100% work out. Like, it's no hate, but I'm kind of with Max, bro. I feel like the recipe really is you just have to have a really well all-around roster who just 100% everything fits together, or you have to have like a top 10 player and kind of build around those pieces. Like Jalen Brunson, great player, but I just don't feel like he's cracked that top 10 just yet. I mean,
he's not there to trust yet, but soon.
So many great players right now in the league. Like, I don't know. It's just a lot of the talent has been through the roof these last, like, I would say 3 or 4 years, in my opinion, especially at the guard position too.
The thing with like the Brunson, like the defensive fit that you talked about, was like you can have OG Anunoby there and you can have Mitchell Robinson there, and that can cover up a lot of defensive holes with like 100%. I'll be the first to say that like those two are game-changing defenders.
Yeah.
But ultimately, your defensive ceiling is only going to be so high when you have 2 6'1" to 6'2" guards in your backcourt. Because any good team you go against in the playoffs is going to have an elite level guard, and if you want to put OG Anunoby on one of those guards, that means either Brunson or Donovan Mitchell is guarding a 6'8" or 6'9" wing. And that's just gonna, like, you can't hide it. You can hide, it's kind of the same thing where it's like non-shooting bigs. You can survive with one non-shooting big, like the Knicks have Mitchell Robinson. If you put 4 shooters around them, you can live with that. But you can't live with 2 non-shooters. If you roll out a lineup with 2 non-shooters in the modern NBA, you will get absolutely flossed. And it's the same thing with like defense at the guard position. We can hide Jalen Brunson if we put a Grimes next to him, a Hart next to him. But if you put 2 small, poor defensive guards out there, then that's just going to be mismatch city. Even if you have an OG Anunoby who can slide down and guard a guard position, that means you're putting Donovan Mitchell on a 3. Or if you're going to want to put Julius Randle on the 3, you're putting Donovan Mitchell on a 4. And it's like, that's only going to work against maybe one team in the NBA who doesn't have a competent 3 or 4 that can like isolate and take them in the post. So that's the problem there. It's like, it's not going to work unless you're committing to playing OG Anunoby at the 2. But in that case, then where's Donovan Mitchell playing the 3?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't map out.
Facts.
I mean,
just else last year, D'Lo and Reeves backcourt horrible. They have no defense, and when they weren't making shots, it was a terrible experience. So Max
you can survive with one of them, and that's part of the reason why the Lakers, I'm sure, are bringing Reeves off the bench right now. You can survive with one of them,
and you
but
can't.
not two. So it's not even as bad with the Lakers because at least D'Lo and Reeves have a little bit of height on them. They're not super short. Like D'Lo's 6'2", and Reeves is probably 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah,
and they're not good defenders. Don't get me wrong, but at least the height is kind of there. Brunson is 6 foot. I don't care what anyone says. He's basically my height, and Mitchell's maybe an inch taller. It's a 6 foot and a 6'1" backcourt in that reality. Maybe 6'2". I'll give you 6'2" for Mitchell, but it just would not feasibly for a team, especially for Tibbs who loves defense, would not roll that team out. Would they be great offensively? Yes. But at that point, why are we just not getting a role-playing two guard for a much less price? He's going to do basically the same thing that we need Donovan Mitchell to do. We won't give up nearly as many assets for him. And then we can use those assets replacing Julius Randle, a power forward or something.
Well, that could be Precious. I mean, that's a good idea.
The problem with Precious is he can't shoot. I wish he could play power forward, but again, it's the same thing. Unless you have a center that can shoot, it's tough to play Precious. And I don't think he's a very good perimeter defender at all.
Me neither.
He's a small ball 5, unfortunately.
But he is still going to be probably in the power forward position. I think Tibbs is going to push him there. And it's not like he's a horrible player. Like let's not knock Precious because he was that starting guard when he was with Toronto before they got Jacob back.
You mean center?
Yes, I'm sorry. But he was still pretty solid in that role too. It wasn't like his numbers suddenly went down for no reason. It was because he was starting to get taken off the bench. Because Jacob was just the better player.
He's good. He's 24, so he's still young. I think he's in his third year or fourth year. Like he's solid. He'll be a serviceable backup big. He's going to do better than Taj, and certainly going to do better than Jericho. Can I just say my Jericho take aged well, considering that he was healthy last night. He got a coach's DNP behind 38 years.
Everybody else played. I was like, what? Jacob?
We got Evan Fournier minutes before we got Fournier minutes before Jericho.
I have a little theory that we're trying to give him minutes to raise his value back up a bit.
No, I just think we needed a guard last night. Tibbs was like, I'm not playing Jericho. We gave up on Jericho, sadly. So
that's so sad, bro.
I have a question though. Like Max, you talked about Donovan Mitchell, some of those guys not being good fit. Who do you think in your dream trade scenario? Because I know Omar comes up with a lot of them respectfully. Who do you think would be that harmonizing piece to kind of complete your Knicks team right now?
As much as I hate to say, the guy that keeps coming to my mind is Embiid. And I think that pipe dream has kind of been screwed over a lot because Tyrese Maxey's been playing at such a high level, and that's probably going to keep Embiid in Philly for at least the short term. But an Embiid trade would probably mean giving up Mitchell Robinson because Mitchell Robinson is a starting center in the NBA, and he's not going to play next to Embiid. So unless they're committing to bringing Mitch off the bench, which I don't think he would want to do, maybe he would. Maybe he just says, I don't care as long as, if I'm playing with Embiid, I get it. I think Embiid would just be a perfect running mate for Brunson. I think it could be very much like a Jokic, Jamal Murray type deal where you've got your point guard and you've got your big just playing off each other. We see how good Embiid is. He's literally an MVP. I don't buy this playoff. I mean, part of me does buy it. He needs to show up in the playoffs, but I think he will. I think it's only a matter of time before he does have a great playoff series, and I don't see why that couldn't be on the Knicks. So in an ideal world, it's Brunson and Embiid, and we trade Randall to get Embiid. Another name that I've heard, I don't know if there's any legitimacy to it, is Devin Booker. If this Suns team implodes, maybe Devin Booker would want to come to the Knicks, and then I could be like, okay, you've got Brunson, you've got Devin Booker, you've got OG, you've got Mitch. I just think right now the dream trade is getting rid of Randall. I've been beating the Randall trade and the Barrett trade for so long. It brings me immense joy that we gave up on RJ Barrett. Getting rid of RJ Barrett is a net positive no matter who we got. Even if we just got a second round pick, I believe that's a net positive for this team. Obviously, the Quickly thing offsets and the OG thing, you talk about that, but we got rid of half the problem in New York. Barrett and Randall are the problem with this team. So Barrett gone. Right now, I think my fingers crossed for the next move is it's Randall plus a ton of picks and probably like a Grimes or a Hart, sadly, for that top 10 player that I'm talking about, like the Joel Embiid, like a Devin Booker. Getting rid of Randall for that top 10 player, if we can finesse some team into thinking Randall is worth that, plus the picks, obviously, that would, I think, pull this team together and give them the best shot at a championship. Because Brunson can absolutely be a running mate with a top 10 player. He'd fit perfectly. We've got the good young players. We got the role players. We're just that one great player away. Will it happen? Probably not. But I can still dream that Embiid wants out at the end of the year, and Philly's dumb enough to take Randall. Yeah, that's my end game. That would be my ideal end game.
I think it's possible to get Embiid. I just won't look at it for right now. Because It just depends on how far Philly goes, right? I feel like
Who knows? Maybe they just flame. Maybe they just flame in the first round for some reason. Like they fall to the 5 seed or something, or the 6 seed,
and they just go. Yeah, I think that's alright. I think that's probably their ideal plan, to probably fall back so they can get into a higher seed. But I mean, even at that point, they're probably gonna have to face. I'm not even gonna say New York because I don't want to say anything. I think let's just say my top 3 dreams are completely down the drain now. Let's just say that.
I don't think it makes us that much worse. I think we'll see how much better the defense is without.
I think the defense will be much more improved, but with Mitchell Robinson out, we don't see our full immense defense, and that's going to be exciting to see next year. So I'm into it, but right now we're top 5. Right now we're top 5. That's it.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't think we're out of Boston, Philly, Milwaukee, but I think any other team is a legitimate catch for us. I think our ceiling is the 4th seed. Most likely it's probably a 5th or 6th seed. Get in the playoffs, maybe win a round, just get more playoff basketball, keep the playoff streak, consecutive playoff streak since like maybe the 90s. Mm-hmm. So just keep that going into next year. This year without Mitch was kind of a wasted, I don't want to say wasted year, but like
no, it's not
any sort of hopes we had of contending this year was gone when Mitch got hurt. So take this year to retool, keep the team decent, set up for next year. Maybe,
well, let's not completely give out hope, because there is a possibility that Mitchell Robinson could be back in time just for the playoffs. No. Yes, there is a possibility. There was no formal extension on how much more he was injured or how far the recovery will take. It's always been an off and on thing, and they were keeping that thing that they applied for, the player grant. They kept that on the side, essentially, just in case Mitchell Robinson comes back. And they have till February to make that decision. So I think it's possible that Mitchell Robinson could come back February, March, so the Knicks don't pick up that deal. I think it's possible.
The reason why we went out and got Precious Achiuwa, it's to be the Mitchell Robinson replacement for the year. That's why we got him.
I think it's honestly.
The original projection was February to March, and then they said he's out for the season.
I honestly think it's covering our ass for eventually when we'll probably have to give up Isaiah Hartenstein, because he's going to ask for probably a payday.
It might. That is something I think about. Hartenstein's going to be worth a good amount of money, and he's young too, so he will probably get.
But he also seems like the type of guy to take a pay cut.
I would hope so, but he's also getting criminally underpaid right now, so he's gonna want.
That's very true.
He's gonna want at least $15 million a year, at the very least. He's gonna want what Mitch is getting, at least. I think he's proved that he's worth at least that much.
Do I want to say $15 million?
And the truth is, if you guys don't pay it, somebody else probably will.
Exactly. Yeah. Someone's gonna pay him a decent bag, not an all-star bag, but like a borderline starting center bag this offseason. I just don't know if it'll be us. And I hope it is. I think he's worth it.
Yeah, I do think he's worth it.
Most players like that, you got to think like they're probably in a situation where like if they get offered a bigger contract and it's not for the team they play for, they're 9 times out of 10 going to take it, because those contracts just aren't guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably made a combined like $20 million in his NBA career so far, which we're talking like that's not a lot of money. Of course, it's a lot of money, but by NBA standards, it's not a lot of money. Like he can go somewhere and probably make $20 million in 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
for sure.
I figured that we can kind of talk about, let's back up from the Knicks, because we talked about them for majority of the episode. Now we can kind of talk about what happened Christmas Day and New Year and Christmas Day for the games and stuff like that. Earl, do you want to start off with the Lakers game? Yeah, we beat the Bucks once, but that was with.
Yeah.
I'm not really looking forward to it. But let's start off with the Lakers game.
Oh, there's really nothing interesting there. Lakers lost on Christmas. We lost to the Celtics. We had a bad stretch in the fourth quarter, and we pretty much lost. I don't really have a lot more thought on that game. It kind of was a couple of days ago, so I half erased it on my mind.
Yeah.
But a better game to talk about, Luka Magic, man. Let's just hop into the Luka, man. Luka gave everybody a Christmas gift. 50 points on Christmas. Me. Oh, well, except for Max. Side story, I played Max in fantasy this weekend. Let's just say I had had a fantastic week. But shout out to Luka, man.
Broke the record for points in a week.
What can I say? What can I say?
He's probably on his way to MVP status, guys. I think he's.
Sure.
I think Nikola Jokic is no more in the MVP conversation. I think it's probably going to be between Luka and Embiid. It's probably going to be between the.
I would even put wild card. Probably not going to happen. I'll throw Shea's name in the boat. Top 5.
I like that though because he is.
I'll put Shea in there. If we're talking about,
Tatum has to be in there simply because the Celtics are the best team in the NBA right now, record-wise. So I think Tatum's name is probably in there by default.
That is true. Who else are we thinking in that list, boys? I would say Joel Embiid, but I think they say he's like 4 or 5 games away from not being eligible. I think he can only miss 11 games. So that is kind of concerning a little bit. I know he has that foot injury. So I'm still going to throw Embiid's name because, I mean, in December, he was averaging 40 points a game, which is absolutely insane. Like, that's a crazy stat. 40 points a game in the month of December is insane. So those are kind of the guys I'm thinking of right now.
Not going to lie. I think it's probably just going to be Luka at this point.
I mean, yeah, but it's still going to be a race. I mean,
yeah. Like, just over the past 14 games, I'll only read a couple here. 39, 10, and 8, 39, 7, and 6, 56, and 15, 39, 12, and 10, 28, 9, and 10, 38, 11, and 8. This guy is unstoppable. This guy is absolutely unstoppable.
Yeah, he's been balling, bro.
He's been absolutely balling. And there's more. Like, that's not even his highest. Like, he's got 41, 42. Like, this is crazy. He's a menace. He's a menace. Yeah. And, shout out to him.
Just for the pure fun of it, because I like this tool. I looked up Basketball References MVP award tracker. I always think that's an interesting little source to go to, and they're typically pretty accurate with who's in the MVP race and who isn't. Right now, they've got Joel Embiid at the top with a 41.2% probability of winning MVP for, like we said, 40 points in the month of December. Averaging is ridiculous. Jokic is actually second right now, and I think, Omar, you're sleeping on his season a little bit. He's having another MVP caliber season. Shea is number 3 on the list. Giannis 4. Luka's actually 5th on their list.
That's crazy.
I think the reason he's so low is because Dallas is only 19 and 14. So as much as it probably, as much as the team, it's an individual award, and the team records shouldn't be factored in. The truth of the matter is it is factored in. And if you're looking at the guys he's competing against, the Embiids, Jokic's, the Tatums, the Giannis's, all those teams are at a top 1 or 2 team in their conference. And then you got the Mavericks, who are still there. But it's tough to win an MVP on a 4 or 5 seed team, unless you're having like a Russell Westbrook historic type breaking record season. It's going to be tough for Luka. If the Mavericks can pull themselves up to like a 1 seed, absolutely. He's in the catbird seat for that. But as long as the Mavericks kind of stay where they're at, it's going to be tough to sway the voters when you've got Tatum leading a top team, Jokic leading a top team, and Embiid leading a top team.
My only problem with that too is like, all right, so when Giannis won that MVP a couple years ago, I think Bron and Giannis had literally the same numbers, but they used the excuse that Bron had AD and Giannis didn't really have anybody on their team. So if it did come down to those 2 guys and it's like really close MVP race, I think maybe the edge probably will go to Luka just off of historical voting. But I do agree with you. I think it's hard for them to give up these type of awards to guys who are kind of like lower seeds compared to guys who are like dominating their conferences, like the Celtics and the Bucks of the world. So I definitely agree with you. It would help Luka's case just to pretty much put him all the way up on that list to just increase their record in the West. I agree with that. But if it came down to individual and they had to make a choice, I think if they looked at what Luka's done, especially with Kyrie Irving being hurt pretty much almost the whole season. I don't know how many games Kyrie's missed, but it's been a lot. And pretty much all those games, Luka's put the team on his back, carried, and hey, he's turned Dante Exum into a superstar, all-star caliber player. We got Tim Hardaway Jr. shooting from half court. It's just that confidence and that bag Luka brings to the court. Like, it's contagious to his teammates. Like, you got Derek Lively, like their rookie. He plays great, man. Especially off that pick and roll action, crashing for boards, confidence, man. I seen him go up. Luka's just throwing it sky high. He's going up there, dunking it and hanging on the rim. Like, just we're talking about a year 1 player. Like, having confidence like that at the center position, unmatched, man. So I think as far as Luka, he's one of those players, like, he gives me like that Bron type of vibe. Like, he makes his teammates better. Like, it's just really cool to see. So I'm glad we kind of have that player to kind of look forward to for the really, I mean, pretty much till we get like really in our probably like 30s, late 30s and stuff like that. Hopefully he'll be playing that long. But yeah, I think Luka, he has kind of a slight edge, but I agree, he has to work on getting that record up for sure, just to make it kind of just solidified there.
Yeah. And like you said, Earl, it's crazy that we've got Luka to look forward to for this long. But on the flip side, it's funny because I'm looking at this list for MVP trackers. There's 3 names that you don't see on here, at least in the top, because they list the top 10. There's 3 names you don't see on here. Bron's not on here, KD's not on here, and Steph's not on here. I can't remember the last time that happened. And neither of those 3 are in the MVP race. I don't think it's really indicative, though, of them.
Who's in the MVP race? Read the top 10. I want to see.
The top 10 is Embiid, Jokic, Shea, Giannis, Luka. Tyrese is 6th, Tatum 7th, 8th, Domantas Sabonis 9th, and Tyrese Maxey 10th.
Domantas Sabonis?
Slightly questionable.
Domantas?
He hasn't had a good season.
No, he has not.
He's kind of nice. That's why he's on there. But, no, the point I was going to make is I heard JJ Redick make this point as well. The fact that Bron, KD, and Steph Curry are all playing at this level toward this deep into their career. Like, obviously, Bron just turned 39 yesterday, and he's still hitting game winners. He's still dropping 20s, 30s, 40s, triple doubles. KD is still an elite level player and the best player on a Suns team that has Devin Booker and Bradley Beal on it. And Steph is the only reason Golden State has any wins this year, whatsoever. So
more like any relevance this year.
While they're still here.
More like any relevance. Seriously.
While they're still here.
Golden State has been at the bottom of the barrel. God damn. But
they have been. Look, Steph is still having an incredible season, even by his standards. So the fact that
speaking
these guys are still cooking.
Speaking of the Warriors,
I got beef.
Speaking of the Warriors, the Pistons have a longer winning streak than them. Let's go over the teams. Let's go over the teams that have a shorter winning streak than the Detroit Pistons right now. The Nuggets, the Rockets, the Mavericks, the Warriors, the Grizzlies, the Spurs, the Heat, the Cavs, the Knicks, the Nets, the Hawks, the Raptors, and the Hornets. 13 teams are having losing records as we speak. 13! This is crazy.
Bro, I gotta say this too. First of all, that's a crazy stat.
That is a crazy stat.
I want to ignore that, but that was a crazy stat. But I had to go and look at these numbers because the Sabonis...
I cannot believe that. That is blasphemous.
Okay. On the season, Sabonis, he's doing good. I agree. And I think this is purely based on where the Kings are in the standings. Because I'm assuming they're pretty high. Has to be purely off of that, in my opinion.
They're 18-12. They're 18-12 right now. So they're not elite, but they're up there.
Averaging 3 turns. I would just like to point out, I know we're sucking right now, but come on. Look at the stats. Anthony Davis. If Sabonis on this list, AD should have had that spot easily. AD is averaging 25 points a game, 3 blocks per game. I'm going to round it up, 2.5. That's rounding in easy math. Averages 1.2 steals per game. He averages 3.3 assists, 12.4 rebounds, and he's shooting 40% on threes, although he's only shooting 2 threes a game, which either way, way better numbers. I'm sorry, Sabonis, you should not be sniffing this list. Tyrese Halliburton.
You know what? After looking up his numbers, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, he doesn't have that scoring percent. He doesn't have that scoring aspect, but he's shooting 60%, 59.6 in the field.
What, overall?
Overall, this whole season, he's averaging 59.6%. Sabonis. With 12 rebounds, 7.4 assists, 19.6 points on 34 minutes.
Yeah, he's killing that aspect. I will admit, AD shooting 56% from the field. But
I wouldn't call him an MVP, but I would say he's doing.
I feel like I don't want to disrespect Sabonis, bro, but the number, bro. I get it.
I'm giving AD the nod over Sabonis personally.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, I am too. It's
a record thing. The basketball reference thing definitely keeps track of record. It prioritizes record. But as do the voters, though.
I respect that.
And there's a reason why Tyrese Maxey is on here.
crazy thing is, like, if AD continues this path for like 30 plus, that average per game is going to go up a lot, like towards the end of the season. He started off so slow, so there's no telling where he's going to end up. But do I think AD wins MVP? Nah, it's just so much going on in the NBA right now. Nobody's catching up to Luka. And I like that nod to Tyrese Halliburton. Dude have back-to-back 20-plus assist games. I mean, dude is a baby Magic Johnson. Obviously not the same frame, but I'm just talking about, like, passing mindset. Insane. No turnovers, too. Like, who's doing that? And people got to realize, like, yes, he's passing this ball, but 20 assists is crazy. Like, people have to make the shots. People don't understand that. Tyrese can't shoot for you. These guys have to knock down the shots. They have to finish the dunk. So, 20-plus assists, in my opinion, is almost, I'll say, it's more impressive to me than getting, like, a 40-point game. Like, especially if you do that back-to-back, man. And Tyrese, by far, one of the most...
Hall of Fame dimer.
I love his game. I love that there's still there's past first point guards out there in the league. Yep. I love that archetype still exists.
I agree, man. I'm gonna have to make a Tyrese Halliburton bill, boy. No, just playing.
Wants him on the Lakers.
He's a real all-star. What can I say? He is a real all-star.
Lakers.
For sure.
What do you think of the rumors including DeJounte Murray, Earl? And this goes for us too, because we're the two teams that are in discussion to get DeJounte Murray.
Honestly, I think it fits. Really, I think it fits either way. I mean, if you guys can get think about it. Jalen Brunson in Dallas, he kind of played next to Luka as a ball-dominant guy. He played great. His numbers were great. Javonte Murray, you guys talk about defense. You want your team to be beefed on defense. He's going to play great defense. I know the numbers haven't looked perfect while he's been in Atlanta as far as defensively, but I watched games. I've been to games. He's really active on defense. He's a guy, if you need a stop, he's going to get a stop. If it comes down to it, he can get you a stop. So I think if you guys are kind of building your defensive mindset on the Knicks, depending on what you give up, because I don't know what you guys would give up for Murray after you guys made that trade a couple days ago, maybe different. So I think
how do you feel about him on the Lakers, though?
Oh, yeah. I mean, on the Lakers, yeah, if it fits. I mean, anything to get rid of D'Angelo Russell, I think makes our team better. Yeah. People say he's not a three-point shooter. At this point, I don't care, man. We can run the fast breaks. If we're clamping up on defense with Javonte Murray as our point guard defender, Anthony Davis, you can switch in Vanna, whenever you want to. Still got Cam Rush. I don't know what the trade package looks like. And Austin Reeves as a six-man potential guy. If we keep Reeves, I know Rob can say any deal. We're not going to clear Reeves, so it will have to be some type of other guys. I don't know who else is included, but assuming Reeves stays, having Murray as our starting point guard, I'm down with it, man. Bron can kind of play off ball. I like that version of Bron. This little Darvin Ham line with Bron at the one. I mean, he's getting a little bit too old for this. Like we talked about in the Lakers chat, he's too old to come down on court, run up the point guard position, and then going back on defense. Yes, we can switch everything, but at the same time, I don't know. I just don't like that. It hasn't been working. Like, yeah, we won that first game versus Thunder. Great. Ever since then, it's been a really, really bad lineup, especially because Vando right now, his offense is absolutely terrible, and he's still coming off that injury, so his defense isn't exactly where it's supposed to be. So that just makes him overall kind of negative on the court, respectfully. Yeah, it's just like, guys, Prince, there's no situation where I want Prince taking, like, I mean, that one game, he shot 13 threes and he hit one. That was the most sick I ever felt in my life. There's no way you're just, like, I get catch and shoot. I get it. I understand the meta of catch and shoot, but that dude, sometimes he goes unconscious in the worst ways. Like, there's dudes who have tricky shooting and there's dudes who just shoot it up and pray. And then with Darvin Ham as our coach, I know I'm spinning out a lot at you guys, but with Darvin Ham as our coach, he will never sub guys out. Never. Ham could go out there. Obviously not Ham. Please no Ham, though. Suit up. Prince can go out there and shoot like 7 shots, miss 7, and Ham will still play in 35 plus minutes. Insane. But Javonte Murray, short answer, I would love him on the team. I think it fits. I'm not gonna say he's the worst 3-point shooter. If he likes it, he can hit threes when he needs to, but he's not just like a catch and shoot player. So I think that's where people's concern is. But mid range looks good, defense is good, playmaking is good. So I think that's a positive in my opinion.
Who would you rather ship off the Lakers, D'Lo or Ham?
Both.
You got to get rid of one. You can only get rid of one.
Mm-hmm. I have to go.
Send one to like Utah or something. You can banish one of them.
I gotta go Ham. Did y'all see that? I'm gonna send you guys this clip. It was the clip of Darvin Ham cooking up the last play of the game, and Bron is on the side, and he just looks disgusted. Like, I'll send you guys a clip afterwards. He just looked disgusted. Like, he was just writing up the dumbest play, which it turned out to be terrible. You guys will get it later in context, but Ham's
oh my
go.
God, I don't even need context. I could see that happening. I can see that happening.
I can picture it.
Oh man,
Bron is gonna make. If he ever wants to coach, he's gonna make. I think he'll make one hell of a coach. I don't know. Sometimes you get great players who just flame out as coaches. The Knicks have hired a couple of them. But I think everything points to Bron being like, if he wanted to, he could be such a damn good coach. He can go coach Bronny's team or Bryce's
That's
team.
exactly what I was gonna say. He's probably gonna coach whoever Bronny plays with. But he does want to play with Bronny. He said he wanted to play with Bronny. So I don't know where he stands out of that. It's Bronny's last year in college, right? Or?
No, he went good. He had a good game last night. I think he had like 15 points, 8 rebounds, like 4 assists, something like that. He played good, but they lost. But
do you guys follow? My bad. Go for it.
No, I'm done. I was just saying, like, he's been playing decent.
Yeah, he has been playing decent. Do you guys follow college football?
I don't follow any colleges, not in the slightest. My college, no, I don't follow college in the slightest.
What's the question?
There's this guy that I know. He went to my high school. He went to Paramus Catholic High School. Mm-hmm. His name is Christian Mahogany. He just entered the draft. I wanted to know if you guys heard of him or something. No,
only for you. I hope he gets drafted.
No, me too. Like he was a great player when we were playing with him and stuff like that. So I pray the best for him. If
you said football,
yeah, it's a football.
Oh, player.
Football. He's on the offensive line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, everybody needs a good O lineman.
Yeah, hell man. He was a good O lineman. I think he's gonna have a good career. Oh man, I just found the cursed image. Oh man. Okay. I found the cursed image of LeBron fused with Julius Randle. You don't want to see it.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, you don't want to see it. It was
the most unselfish basketball player with the most selfish basketball player.
Uninvolved that works. You don't need that one. Go back to baseball. We're good on it.
We'll work on that one. But so I wanted to kind of grasp your opinion going into the new year. Where do you think these teams are going to lie? Like, where do you guys think the Clippers are going to be? Where do you guys think Earl, where do you see your Lakers? Max, where do you see the Knicks? Like, I don't see them. I don't see, with all these great teams playing right now, Oklahoma City Thunder, just to name a few. I'm sorry, let me pull up the standings. The Timberwolves. Do you guys think the Timberwolves are going to fall? Do you guys think Oklahoma City is going to stay the way they are? Do you guys think Boston or Milwaukee are going to fall at all? Do you think Philly is going to fall at all? What do you guys think is going to happen going into the new year?
I think Minnesota's legit for the most part. I don't think they're a finals contender, but I could definitely see them probably ending with a top one or two seed because they are young. I think you got to keep that in consideration. That typically the regular season favors the younger teams, with the back-to-backs and the intense travel schedule. Typically the younger teams, are going to do better on that. They don't have to load manage as much. They're more locked in on every night, So I think they'll probably finish high up in the West, 1, 2, maybe 3. And I think that they can absolutely win a first-round matchup. I don't see them getting the conference finals. I think they're a good second-round exit team. Maybe down the line, that's the only can improve. But I think, they'll be up there. OKC will probably still be up there. I think they might struggle in the playoffs just because they haven't really been there yet. Or did they make the playoffs last year? Or were they play? And they didn't make the playoffs last year. I think they were playing.
I think they were playing, yeah. But, I mean, they weren't trying very hard. But they're in a good position.
They played the Nuggets before us. So they made it.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
The Nuggets before you. So no, the Nuggets played Minnesota in the first round.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about this Timberwolves. No.
I was talking about the Timberwolves, but now I'm talking about the Thunder.
Oh my bad, I got confused. My fault.
Yeah, no, you're good. I think the Thunder. I think they'll probably still finish in the top half, but I could see them being like a top 4 seed that loses in the first round.
Yeah.
Maybe like a 4 seed that loses to a 5 seed. I just think I'm big on playoff experience. I think, it's the necessary reps. You're never going to win a championship without a couple, failed playoff runs before that. I think you almost never see it. So Thunder will be up there. I think the Lakers I could see the Lakers kind of doing what they did last year, which is a somewhat disappointing regular season, but then having a really good postseason. It's, that's just kind of the way it is. Bron, he's not taking these regular season games super seriously. He sees the bigger picture. I think AD sees the bigger picture. I think this whole team sees the bigger picture. So I could see them being a lower seed that does well in the playoffs. I could see Phoenix pulling it together. Phoenix is not going to be the team that anyone wants to play. I know they're towards the bottom of the West right now, but no one wants to play Phoenix in the playoffs. They could absolutely go on a run. To each their own. To each their own. So
we didn't forget 2021. We haven't forgot. We need that rematch.
That would be one hell of a playoff matchup. So I think Phoenix still there. Clippers, I could really see the Clippers doing really well in the postseason. I think they have a legitimate chance of winning a championship if they're healthy. Over in the East, it's not as interesting. It's really just the Bucks and the Celtics just pacing themselves out front. And then Philly makes some noise against one of them, but it's
Magic probably too.
Who is that? Who?
The Magic.
Again, same thing I said about the Thunder, I'll say about Orlando. Great team, young team, favors the regular season, could totally see them pulling off a 4th seed, but probably losing in the first round just because they don't have playoff experience. Playoff basketball is such a different brand. Mm-hmm. And I think, you saw that in my own experience. I think I saw that last year in Knicks versus Cavs. I think the little bit of playoff experience that the Knicks players had, Brunson over on Dallas, or, Randall and Barrett drawing on the first round loss a couple years ago to Atlanta, it helped. That playoff experience helped. And a lot of these Cavs guys had never sniffed the postseason before, and I think it showed. Jared Allen has the now infamous quote, "The lights were brighter than expected." That's a real thing. That is a legitimate real thing. So I think Orlando could be another team that maybe sniffs the 4th seed but loses in the first round. Just natural growing pains, To expect a team like this to go from bottom of the conference to a second round team is, it's unrealistic to expect that of them.
Yeah.
Knicks, I'll see us probably in a 4, 5, 6 spot, probably around Orlando and Cleveland, I think. Maybe we win the first round matchup. As long as we're not playing, I think, Milwaukee, Austin, and maybe Philly, I think we could probably beat any other team. I think we could wind up being the 4th or 5th best team in the East. But anything past that, probably not. My hope is just get back to this, get in the playoffs, get to the second round would be awesome. Kind of like what we did last year. Again, without Mitch, this year was never going to work anyway. So, our window's in a year or two, our window's going to open. Just keep playing more good playoff basketball. Every single playoff game, I think, just improves the ceiling of the team going forward drastically. Like, I highly, highly value playoff reps, playoff experience, doing well in the playoffs, knowing what it takes. You can't win without knowing what it takes to win. And I know that's a cliche.
No.
I firmly believe it. Like, it took the Bucks a couple failed tries to get it done. Golden State's a little bit of an anomaly because they kind of just shot up out of nowhere to win in 2015. But even they had a couple playoff losses, I think, like the Spurs the year before. So you got to lose before you can win. So as the more playoff games the Knicks play, the better for me. And I do think we will be in the playoffs. I think that some people saying, are we even a playoff lock? I think we are. Like, Dante DiVincenzo just had 38 points yesterday. We'll be okay.
Fresh off the RJ trade too.
We'll be okay.
We'll be okay. Mitch, yeah.
We'll be fine.
I gotta agree with you. I do think the Orlando Magic are gonna fall a bit. I don't see them being a top 4 seed when it's all said and done. I see them at 7 or 8.
I can see them being 4. But losing to the 5th seed in the first round.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked if the Knicks play the Magic or the Cavs play the Magic, and even though the Magic have home court, they lose in the first round at 6 or 7, just cause.
Yeah. I see us 5 or 6, just because Mitchell Robinson. If Mitchell Robinson is back, I see us as a 4. I think Brooklyn.
That's realistic.
I'm sorry.
That's realistic.
Yeah. Mitchell Robinson. I mean, not Mitchell Robinson. The Brooklyn Nets are probably gonna start playing better too. I think Jacques Vaugh's got to figure it the hell out. Personally, because I stand by
what I said this year. I stand by what I said at the start of the season. Brooklyn misses the playoffs. They're not making it. I think Indiana takes their spot in the playoffs.
I think that's a good take.
I think Indiana will be. Did I not say this? I think I said towards the start of the season that the Pacers will beat the Nets in the play-in for the final playoff spot. I stand by that like hell right now.
And that might be the case because the Pacers are yet another team with no playoff experience, but play-in experience.
Yeah.
Never know.
In-season tournament experience.
The Bulls are... I'm not even considering the Bulls. I see them with the Pistons, Wizards, and the Hornets at this point. I'm sorry.
They're playing better right now, but yeah, they'll probably be down there.
Raptors with RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly. See them as a play-in.
I think you just named the 5 teams that won't sniff the play-in. I think, Raptors, Hornets, Wizards...
The Hawks will just make it.
And then the Bulls, Raptors are just kind of there, but I don't think they'll make it.
And yeah, the Hawks will just make it there, to be completely honest, too.
Trae Young's good enough to get the Hawks in there.
At least the play-in.
Yeah. He's good enough to get him in the play-in.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with the West Coast take. It's probably going to be the Timberwolves, Thunder, Nuggets leading the top three. I see the Clippers are probably going to do well too, probably be in a top 5 position. The Kings, I could see them going either way here, to be completely honest. So
Kings are tough, man.
The
Kings are tough. It's like they could just pop off and go to the conference finals. They could flame in the first.
Yeah.
They're tough. Oh, they could miss the playoffs. I could see it. Like, the West is so loaded.
Yeah.
Like, once you get in the play-in, anything can happen. Yeah, Ro?
I just was sitting here picturing it in my head. All right, so here's my master class. This is what's going to happen. As far as Lakers, yes.
I'll put in the parlay right now.
Bet responsibly.
Lakers in the 5th spot in the West. Nothing more, nothing less. They're gonna end at 5th. Who I want to see in the playoffs. I don't know how it's gonna match up, whatever. These are just the 3 teams I want to play purely on get back scenarios. 1, Phoenix. I don't know which round. I don't know how well they're going to end. I don't know where they're going to start. Don't know if they're going to be playing team. Don't know if they're going to be top 3. You never know. It's really way too early. There's a lot of stretches towards the end of the season where teams start playing good, teams start playing bad. So I have no idea. 2, the Timberwolves. I'm so tired of Timberwolves fans thinking they're a great team. I want to embarrass them. I want to sweep them. I want an AD LeBron James masterclass to show them there's levels to this. There's historic franchises. Respectfully, your guys' names will never be brought up in that conversation ever. Simple. Number 3, the Nuggets. Last year was a terrible representation of what we are as a team as far as competitive nature. There really is no excuse. We played horrible. Our stars didn't show up. Our role players didn't show up. Didn't matter what the situation was, whether we had that team for what amount of times, shouldn't have got swept. Our players didn't show up to play. So that's 3. We need that get back, and we're reversing it. We are sweeping back. Now, I know I'm talking crazy right now, but just my confidence is really at an all-time high. Like, we have
get your beefs out there early. I respect it.
For sure. Like, AD is playing at such a dominant level. I'm not even focusing on the games we're losing. Like, every single game for the last, I think, like 5, well, really, I think I can say like 8+ games, he's had 30+ points. Efficient, defensive-wise, wonderful. But last game I need the Celtics, man. I need the Celtics in the championship. We need to go ahead and finally settle this. Quest for 18, final showdown. Who's going to get the 18 championship? It has to be Lakers versus Celtics, man. I don't know how the Celtics are going to get there. They're a great team, but I want that rematch, man. Last year, we got pretty much Ron slap on the wrist. They didn't call it regular season. Craziest game ever. Last game we played, we just didn't have a great stretch, and I don't think that's a great representation of just our rivalry in general. That was terrible. So I want a final showdown, Lakers versus Celtics, purple versus green, to just settle it between Boston and Lakers fans for at least right now. Who is the best franchise in the NBA? Statistically, allegedly, in any conversations brought up, who's going to go home and walk away with that 18 championship? Everything on the line, Bron legacy on the line, Anthony Davis blossoming into owning the team, taking that role as being the Lakers face of the franchise. We just need that, man. I think it'll be great for basketball. I think that's one of the best basketball storylines we can get as far as just decade of basketball, as far as like playoffs. Like, that will be the icing on the cake to end, like, not saying it's LeBron's last year, but that would be one way to end a championship run. Like, as far as like in the career, man. Boston Celtics versus Lakers. Bron wins it. AD wins it. He can retire right then, in my opinion. He can spark some good GOAT debates, taking on Tatum, young talent, really, honestly, the most talented roster in the NBA, in my opinion. If they all play together and cohesive, it's that Celtics team, man. From start to bottom of that roster, they legitimately have a chance to win a championship. And I want to play that roster. I want to play them at the best of the best, and I want us to play ourselves. I'm going to be the best of the best when we play them. So that's my Lakers take for the playoffs. 5th seed, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Suns, Celtics, championship. 18. Complete.
All right, so I guess maybe in that, maybe you play the Suns in the first round, Timberwolves in the second, Nuggets in the conference, and then the Celtics. And that would be one hell of a storyline.
That would be a hell of a storyline.
I did have the script.
He got the script.
Can you forward that to me? I want to see when the Randall trade happens.
Yeah, me too.
I'm actually gonna write that down and I'm gonna send it to the chat so I have it saved for real.
All right,
so I don't forget.
Just make it fair, all right? Because the Knicks have been getting screwed over for the past couple of years. And come on, we've been loyal, we've been good. Like we've been loyal, we've been good.
He just said he has the script.
I'll say this: 2026 is your year.
I can buy that. If Randall's gone by then and we get a superstar, I'm buying it.
Take with that as you will.
All right. So there was one more thing I want to topic across before we end the podcast today. There is one thing that caught my eye this weekend, and it was the fact that not Tom Thibodeau. I keep saying Tom Thibodeau, but Greg Popovich is apparently in hot water. You guys want to guess why?
Because he's not running plays for Wemby.
No. Believe it or not, no. The fandom is mad that they're not playing Trey Jones over apparently Jeremy Sohan has been running the point.
Yeah, he has. It's not good.
It's interesting to say the least. I'm
not gonna question Pop.
That's exactly what I was gonna bring up next because I think he's cooking. He sees the trend. He sees the trend of bigger guards in the league. He's seeing these bigger guards in the league, and he's seeing all the. I think he's cooking something. Y'all are sleeping on him.
Somebody into a dog, man. You gotta have that dog built into you. And
I think Jeremy Sohan does.
He doesn't have
not a point guard
dog in him. He doesn't. He's not a point guard. He won't be a point guard. You can clip this. Put me in the edit when he goes crazy. I'll respect it, but he should not be at the one. He can be on the court. I agree. He can be a decent player, but Trey Jones should be running the one, and that would be a way better decision for that Spurs team. I'm not going to question Popovich completely, but this is a little bit sus, Pop. Like, I think he's enough leniency. My fault, I said that wrong. Totally word. I said the word totally wrong. But he's earned enough. He's earned enough respect to
he's
make.
Got the benefit of the doubt because he's Greg Popovich.
Yeah, that's all I can say about that. But
if he's doing it, there's probably a good reason. In my opinion, as a basketball fan, I would be playing Trey Jones. The Sohan experience is not working. Even a great coach, I think Popovich is still the best coach in the NBA. No one bats 1,000. This might just be his not batting 1,000 moment.
The next Greg Popovich will be a man named. Wow, did I really forget his name? Am I that stupid? I'm stupid as hell. I'm stupid as hell. I'm stupid. Eric Spoelstra. Oh my God. Yes, Eric Spoelstra.
He kind of is. Spoel's already the second best coach in the NBA right now. So when Pop retires, it's going to be him. He's already second best. Yeah. He's only second best because Pop is still coaching, if I'm being honest. I'm giving the nod to Pop as long as he's coaching. But as soon as Pop retires, it's Eric Spoelstra. Yep. It's his league. Yep. Rick Carlisle up there too. I like Rick Carlisle.
I gotta bring this up. This is really funny. I just sent this to you guys like 2 seconds ago. Rick Carlisle on the Pacers. Even a pretty girl gets boring after a while if she can't guard anybody. And then somebody says, "You hear that, Queens? Start fighting over screens and forcing dribbles off their hands."
That's a good way to end this episode.
That is a really good way to end the episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are back, and we will be here, guys. Happy 2024. We will be here. We will be square. We will be on time. We will be more consistent, and we will be back next week. Thank you, guys. Appreciate everybody. Thank you to Earl. Thank you to Max. Thank you to my boys. Appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your night. Peace.